I want to welcome everyone tuning in. I'm Laura Elaine Ellis, and it is my joy to be in the room with Isha Clarke, Shayla Avery, and Yoram Savion. They work together on the CoLab project, Dear Black Girls. And it is my joy to be able to talk with them, chat with them, and hear all about this amazing film. So, Yoram, I'm going to start with you. Why this film?
Thank you, Laura. It's great to be with you. And yeah, it's an honor to be here representing this film with Shayla and Isha. Um, so why this film? Shayla, Isha, and I met at the Destiny Arts Center in Oakland, California. And I don't think this work would have been possible without the connection happening in that space with that purpose to begin with. But I think to really bring it into focus of why we're here today, quarantine was a very challenging time for our community because we had planned to do the big yearly show that Destiny Arts do at Laney College. And because of the current global pandemic, we couldn't gather in the theater. So the artistic director, Sarah Crowell, shout out to her, she came up with the idea of turning the show into a film. The subject of the film was about young people dying prematurely in Oakland for reasons ranging from police brutality to bullying to mental health issues, things that are affecting our community. And as we're preparing for this film on May 25th, that police officer steps on George Floyd's neck, murdering him. And then I hear from Kyla Searle, who's actually the producer on this film that we're presenting today. She informs me that she's preparing some banners for a protest that's going to happen organized by Shayla. My mind started racing. I thought I have to be there to support what Shayla's doing. I have to be there to film. I have to be there to document this. And it just kept going week after week for the summer, where we were just in the same space, doing the work of being in the street and making the voices of Black youth as loud and visible as possible. And so when this collab project was presented to me by SFDFF, Shayla and Isha, who were the most vocal people in our community and had so much to say and have so much talent as choreographers and dancers and writers. And so we thought, let's give them, I mean, they already had the mic. So it was basically just, take the megaphone and see what's going on.
That's amazing. Thank you. It's beautiful. And Isha, Shayla. So this Dear Black Girls, this film. For each of you, what is significant about this film and this film being presented now?
The poem that I wrote with the main character, Niaja, that I wrote that talking about the girl I used to be, this dark-skinned young woman growing up in this country, not feeling confident, and to where I am now. And I think it's so significant, especially what happened with Breonna Taylor and what happened with her case, I think all of it just ties into like, we are powerful, we are strong, we could do this, we hold so much, we are the holders of this earth, basically,
So the power of the creative is in your writing. That was your text, the poem at the beginning, and then the channeling of all of that energy. And then both of you worked on choreography?
Yes.
There was a collaboration there.
Yeah.
Isha, anything you want to add to that about the significance?
Throughout the process of making this film, it really felt like every single step, every single piece was meant to be and was in so much alignment with the world and what was happening. Like, this uprising for Black lives really took off, and like almost every movement in history, Black women were leading and holding space, and still people were not showing up for us when we needed it. Breonna Taylor, her murderers were convicted or were brought up on charges for the shots that they missed. There's just so much brutality against Black women and Black trans women, and that needed to be vocalized. And we wanted to honor Black women. Mm-hmm. This was more of a call from Black girls to Black girls, saying, look at the power that you have. Look at the beauty, the courage, all of it, all of the just, the dopeness that you have. Like, we're calling to that and mobilizing our sisters who are feeling beaten down, and rightfully so. For me, that's what this is.
With the film coming out just with days to vote. Right. And so there's also that about Black voices, right? And you are in a demographic that can make such a huge difference around who's at the table, who's making decisions in our legislation and out in those streets, right? And so your place, not just in the film, but how you also walk and show up for our community is making an impact. And it's inspiring to hear you speak about this film and how it intersects with the activism that you're doing in our community here in the Bay Area. And so speaking about that in process with doing this film, CoLab, clearly really different than performing on stage and creating choreography for stage, and even writing and performing text, because you have a limited time to put this project together. So what were the hard choices to make around what would be in the film, what would make the film, and what came easily, and maybe what surprised you about this process?
I think it really showed me time management. This piece really taught me how to get stuff done when I need it to be done. There's no time to waste. There's no time to keep talking. We just got to go for it. And for me, I'm an overthinker. I'm a perfectionist. So that was really like something new, but I wouldn't change anything. It was good.
The progression of this piece is really amazing to me. So we just started, like in our wildest dreams, what do we want to do? And I was like, I think it would be so dope if we did a piece that showcased the different elements, earth, air, fire, and water. And Shayla and Yo were like, ooh, yeah, that's really cool. And so we kind of went with that. And then we were like, okay, well, what do we want to talk about? And we were like, we want to honor Black women. And then we were like, dope. And then we started crafting this vision, and we have like these 4 super powerful visuals that I'm so proud of us for creating and bringing to life, because as you said, this was a very short amount of time. We were very ambitious. Me and Shayla started getting together, and we got into the studio together and started choreographing, which was so amazing because it was during shelter in place, and I like finally got to get out and be in a studio and dance. I missed it. And, me and Shayla just were like this. Our minds just went together and we started coming up with stuff. And it was actually in the middle of our creating process where we were like, okay, we need to take a step back here. Like, what is it that we're trying to do? What are we trying to say? And how do we need to get that message across? And we started thinking about maybe we need to bring in other art forms to it. And I was like, what about poetry? And so Shayla was like, yeah. And then she was like, I wrote this piece with Niaja. And I was like, oh, let me hear it. And it was just, she read it and it was like, oh my God, that's it. Like, and that's when the whole film came together. We recognized like this Dear Black Girls narrative, like that's what it's about. It brought the whole story together. That was an amazing moment. Me and Shayla kind of were just sitting there like, wow, it just clicked.
I saw the film as a, preview. There was the most magnificent, beautiful Black woman with this funky fro. It was, and I'm like, well, right? And just really pulled into the text, just set the tone for the film, right?
Mhm.
So, Shayla, why don't you talk a little bit about Niaja Robeson?
Oh my gosh, Niaja, where do I start? First, like how I mentioned earlier, we wrote the poem together that was featured in this film. We were already close before. We like how it started was we would always have deep conversations about being Black women, about what we have to do in this country. And we would always brainstorm about how we could just empower younger girls, because we both have different issues that we grew up with, being a dark-skinned young women in this country, but like on different spectrums. Like I struggled a lot with like my hair, I just have so much. She helped me overcome my hair, like wearing my natural hair. She helped me embrace all of what being a Black woman truly is, and still developing that,
I mean, Niaja just really is the film. Like she made it real. She made it what it is. She is this beautiful, tall, dark-skinned Black girl. She has such a beautiful soul too. She's so spiritual and loving and caring and smart, and like she is the essence of Black female beauty. And I feel so grateful to have her as the star of this film.
And I hear the sister love. It's deep
Yeah.
and authentic. That's so much love you all are giving right now. Absolutely. And Yoram, do you want to add anything as a filmmaker working with Niaja?
Yeah, I think when we brought Niaja into the project, it kind of just, everything became self-evident, everything became just, the path was clear. But one moment that stood out in terms of production is when we shot the scene for water on the California coast. So that dance is Yambalu. It's an Afro-Haitian dance that Shayla brought to the film and choreographed with Niaja. And it's a very spiritual experience. It's a spiritual movement. And so the whole experience of doing it, and the uneven surface of the sand, and the rush of trying to get that perfect sunset at the very end of the day, and the whole energy of driving down to Half Moon Bay and having the whole team ready with the makeup and the outfits and the drummers. I mean, it was really a big effort on all of us to get to that location at that time, in that moment. And you could just see Niaja just going through the struggle of what it means to represent herself in this film, like the pride and the honor to be able to express ourselves through our art, but also the challenge of just being in this moment right now. And so it kind of encapsulated the whole experience for me, of just seeing her really be emotional and giving everything that she had, and all of us just focused on making sure that she is represented in the most authentic and real way possible. So that was a great moment. And Niaja is the star of this film, like undoubtedly.
That scene on the beach, stunning. Stunning on the coast. Yeah.
It was incredible to be there while it was being filmed. It was like, it was so crazy. I was like, oh my God, this is really happening. It was just like everything aligned for that moment to come together. It was beautiful. The sky was clear. The lighting was perfect. Like, it was just
meant to be.
Yeah, for me, the process of collaborating, like the action of working and creating together, it was forged in the struggle. It was forged in the Black liberation movement. It was forged by working in the streets. It was forged by how to lead a protest movement during a global pandemic. Like, there were so many things that were layered on each other. So I think the trust that was built from that experience was the foundation for being able to do this work. And I'm just really proud to be able to show this work to the world. I think it's some of the best work that I've been a part of. And I wanted to thank Rika from Sozo Artists, my creative agency. Thank Ben, the DP, Kyla, the producer, Desmond on camera assist was invaluable. Layla for photography, Sarah, Brian, all the dancers, the drummers, the makeup artists, the stylists. We got the whole community and the family involved. So Niaja's sister did her hair.
Oh, okay.
She's a hairstylist in Oakland.
Yes.
We wanted every scene to have a completely different style and a completely different hairstyle. And it was actually, I mean, for the people that aren't familiar with hairstyles like this, it was I want to say that the production schedule was determined by
the hair. It was.
It is a ritual within itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's part of self-care, right?
Yes.
And the different hairstyles, I think, also that was impactful too, because it represents the many different ways we show up.
Right.
We are not monolithic,
Right.
right? As a people, right? One Black woman to the next, not the same.
Right. And on that note, actually, this is really important for me to say.
Mm-hmm.
I want to really acknowledge how there were many versions of Black girls and Black femmes that were not portrayed in this film. We didn't have any non-binary Black women. We didn't have any Black trans women. And I want to really bring that in and acknowledge that and say that this message, this feeling is for everyone. It's for every type of Black girl, and that every type of Black girl and Black femme is beautiful, and this is for you. That feels important for me to share, because I would never want to not showcase that side of Black femininity.
Thank you. It's amazing. Well, I am in love now. You just need to know. I'm in love with a gorgeous woman named Shayla and another gorgeous woman named Isha. I already been in love with Yoram, so that the love.
10 years, Laura, 10 years. we get a medal.
I want to, from the very bottom of my heart, thank you for your creative expression, for sharing this journey with us this evening, and the amazing film. Congratulations on this new film. And I just want to say thank you again to Shayla Avery. And I also want to mention that Shayla is an activist as well as an artist with Youth Protect the Bay. And Isha Clarke, also an activist as well as an artist with Youth versus Apocalypse. And then Yoram Savion, the director and editor of this film, who comes to the collab via his production company, Yak Films. Thank you so much again. I know, right? Such a history. I look forward to what you all will do next, because I know there's something else coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much, Laura.
Thank you. Thank you all again for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I know I did. My heart is full. I want you all to make sure that you see more films of this amazing San Francisco Dance Film Festival. And I hope you already had a chance to see Raising Voices. If you didn't, please check out the Raising Voices program. And if you already saw it, see it again. It's playing, as you know, from October 18th through the 25th. So please take it all in and enjoy. Thank you.